I got some DMs from some of our fans, and they wanted to hear your free agency philosophy this year because they said they've noticed on our shows where Tage and I are talking about draft. You're talking about like we need to bring in guys, like veteran guys. Like draft's okay and all, but I guess they've been listening. They've been hearing what you had to say, JD, as far as like draft's good, but we need guys who can come in and play now. Guys who have been in the league now.
That's right.
So I guess the question that I've got and I try to summarize a bunch of the different comments I got from some of our fans. It was more so, is JD saying that we don't have time to wait for these rookies to develop to go get these free agents? And obviously we have to make the cap space work because we're going to have to do some salary cap gymnastics this offseason to make some of these contracts work. Because again, we talk about some of these position groups that we have in our Monday shows. We don't have a lot of these guys on the roster going into the season. So we are going to have to, it's not only draft because we only have limited draft picks. We're going to have to sign people too. So I forget what we're going to have to do to make the money work for a lot of these people. But when you say we do need to bring in vets too, it's not just the draft. Are you saying it's because we don't have the time to wait for rookies to develop and we do need to kind of see guys kind of come in and get it right away? Or when you say stuff like that, what are you trying to convey?
I think the key positions that you're lacking in, that guys got to be game ready. I mean, plug and play as many to come in, has to be free agent guys because they understand the ins and outs of the NFL. And so they understand exactly what it means to be successful. So it's not like that learning curve that is taken with a rookie and it takes some time to develop. You coming from college, you've been playing, Tulsa and North Texas and, Sister Mary the Poor. It's going to take some time for those guys to develop. It is, as opposed to a guy who's a free agent who's wanting to come in and his clock is ticking too, as far as trying to win a championship. He understands what is at stake here. And his is money. His is prestige. His is legacy and all those different things. So when he comes in, he's trying to win now. He's not coming on the game, on teams like, next 2 or 3 years, we're going to be good. No, I'm coming in saying, I'm going to make this team that much better. They're making a choice on where they're going. A rookie really doesn't have a decision. He don't know where he's going. A free agent guy chooses for several reasons. Do I have a chance at a rink? Am I getting good money? Am I going to have a legacy there? Am I going to get to play and all the good things I need to do? Yes. So that's their incentive. A rookie's like, man, I'm just happy to be in the NFL. Yeah, I want to get here. Yeah, I want to establish myself. But they do understand it's going to take them some time. So important positions, important pieces that we need, got to be guys that's ready. So we've been talking about running back here, right? Everybody, we got the bottom 3 running backs. Everybody's been saying it. And it's crazy to me because we don't. All right, we have very productive guys. But if you're looking for a guy, okay, that you're saying, all right, well, fine. I'll listen to what you're saying. We need as a running back. Let us go get one of the best free agent running backs that's out there in the league right now. Okay? Let's do that. A guy that we know can go hit his head on the goalpost, who's been very productive in this league, knows how the blocking schemes and stuff going. Nothing's going to be over his head, as opposed to a rookie coming in who still has to learn tempo and speed and all those different things that he's adjusting to. Okay? Fine. Let's go get that guy that's game ready. Love. Okay? Jeremiah Love is an incredible talent. Would be ecstatic to have him here. It may take Jeremiah Love some time to get to where he needs to be that guy. So he still has a learning curve to get to the place he needs to get to. A Breece Hall, you don't have to worry about that. A Kenneth Walker, you don't have to worry about those things. Etienne, don't even have to think about it. They know. They've been in these rooms. They understand what the coaches demand, what they want. And it's a different thing altogether, a different mindset altogether. They know how to take care of their body. They know where to go and get training. They ain't going to be eating McDonald's and all the nasty stuff. Guys come in, they don't even like vegetables. Some of these dudes come in. You know what I'm saying? You say it to a veteran like, what are you talking about? I know there's things that I need to put in my body that's optimal for me to play. So it's a mindset that is a little bit more obviously mature. So the maturation process, Marcus, is just going to take a little time. I'm not saying you can't win with rookies, but we need guys in pivotal positions to become in the ready to play. So I think when you're building something, that's what I'm saying. Okay. Running back and say is somebody we need. Okay. We have wide receivers who've been here for a number of years. He used young guys. Okay. So we got some guys that's been here for a long time. D line, when you just got to go and get the ball, shoot, you're not going to pass rush. It ain't no different. But it's easy for you to make a transition coming into the NFL as opposed to maybe like a running back. Because all you're doing is just going against another tackle. If you already got a bag with you, you got several moves, you just get better at those moves. Once you learn that and practice relatively quickly and get into a place. So that's what I say. I think you need a great balance of getting some veteran guys here that can lead the way to what a championship is. So that's what I mean. I don't think the draft is the end all be all. It is for the future. If you're looking down the road, yeah, sure. You think 3 years down the road, you're trying to be that team, I'm all in. I'm all for it. But we're trying to win now. We got a Travis Kelce that's here now. We got a Chris Jones that's here now. We got a Patrick Mahomes that's here now. So we got guys that may not be in the building the next 1 or 2 years or 3 years. We got to win now. So we failed at that last year. It was an off year for us. That's fine. Rebuild the right way. Get the free agents in here that you need and go win you some games. And let all the supporting cast be younger guys that's watching the veterans do it. And if they come in and there are guys that can come play, we're even better for that because they understand what it takes. And so that's why we feel like veteran presence is so important. It really is. Locker room with young guys. So
you kind of hit it on like the fact that Kelce's one more year potentially. Chris Jones, who knows how many more years he has. And I've seen recently Chief fans are saying that, who knows how long Mahomes is going to play for, which I think I saw some content creators are talking about. I think Bob Fesco on the Chiefs radio, Kansas City radio, made a comment saying like Mahomes is telling them to fix it or he's going to ask out eventually, whatever. And I think some fans may have thought that like you were in that same vein, like, look, like Mahomes, you have a stellar player like that right now. Go build for him right now. Figure out the rest and the contractual stuff later, get the best players on the team possible now. And that would be bringing in veterans instead of building through the draft. And I also will say too, like, I think I'm with you. I do think there is a balance to it, right? You need the proper amount of balance from the rooks as well as veteran guys in free agency. And we're going to have to spend the free agency because we have a lot of guys on our roster right now going into next year.
But the right way though, Marcus, right? The right money, the right way.
Sure. The right way.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
And I'll say this: I think the fan base, the reason why everyone kind of hones in on the draft, I think everyone's kind of not been jaded, but I think their minds has been kind of ever since the Tyreek Hill trade. I think that everything's been kind of shifted a little bit, right? Because that draft, because we got so many picks from that Tyreek Hill trade, that draft of those guys helped us get into that back-to-back Super Bowl, helped us get to 3 straight Super Bowls, and that draft was a big key to that. So I think a lot of fans see the draft as what's going to make or break the next 10 years of Patrick Mahomes and then the rest of his chapter in Kansas City. What do you think about that?
They were pivotal guys, but if you look around, who are at what positions, those young guys in the draft still had veterans at the back end, like secondary. You still had somebody at safety that understood, who's been in the fire before, who can orchestrate and put guys where they need to be. So it's that part of that communication. When you're sitting there, you're thinking about, maybe a Nick Bolton who came in and was like, you know what? Nick Bolton comes in, he becomes Spag's mind out there. Spag's like, it took him a couple of years to be that guy. Let me see what else. Trying to think. Offensively, we had some older guys on the offensive side of football. Got some wide receivers in free agency who's a little bit older. They was going to be able to help out, and so it still worked out to our favor. So it's good to have that balance of guys. But then you had a younger Chris Jones who's unstoppable. And I say about those years we should have been put guys around him to help him out. We've been wearing him down these past few years. To slow Chris Jones down. It's almost like they ain't been listening to us. I'm like, what are y'all thinking? Y'all have so much money invested in him, invest in getting young guys around him that's going to be able to do the same thing. And they decided to kind of do that with Gelati and Norman Lott. Well, Ashton got to play some, and he's going to develop because he's a good talent. And NOL got hurt, so we couldn't utilize him. And then all of a sudden, it's like, shoot, what do we miss here? So we can go all in on draft, but for me, I think it's just a mistake because there's just so much more that you got to teach the guys and get them ready. And it's things that Andy didn't got that much time. Oh, Andy's not going to be here another. Come on,
that's a good point.
Andy's not going to be here another 5 years. I don't see that at all. Maybe 2 or 3, maybe. I don't know. This is my speculation, okay? I haven't heard anything. But I'm just saying Andy's getting up there in age a little bit. He wants to enjoy his time in retirement. Right, Will? When is now? We got to do it now. Draft is for future and later. And if you're able to get something out of young guys, great. It's even better. We got to win right now. That's why we had to go get Jawan Taylor. That's why we invested a lot in Creed and Trey, guys that's been here. That's why you do that. We brought King Sumi in as a draft to be the starting left tackle, and he didn't even start. When he started, he didn't look that good. Yeah. He had to move him in to guard. It took a whole year to figure that out. You know what I mean? So
yeah, no, I'm with you. Like I do think it depends on what position it is, and when you talk about being smart with your money,
yes, sir.
You have to go with the running back who I know people are saying in the chat like Breece Hall don't ever never sign a free agent running back. I mean that's just not true. I mean ask Philadelphia Eagles about that. They won a Super Bowl with the guy they signed. And we're talking Breece Hall is 24 years old. I mean it's not an old guy by any means.
Do not pay a running back for what he already did in the NFL. Why not the Joe? What? That don't make any sense. Shoot, Josh Jacobs went up there to Green Bay. He helped them get better.
Yeah.
I mean,
instant upgrade over Aaron Jones.
Derrick Henry.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and he was about 30 when he went over there.
Yeah. Why wouldn't we want to do that? I want a guy that's been there before. If a guy's beat up, it's a whole different thing, Joe. But if I'm looking at the history of guys if we know he's a solid guy, and usually it's been like that, they usually do really well when going to other teams. They usually do. Breece Hall, okay, because we know what we have here, because what we know what we got, offensive line, Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, Breece Hall would be a guy that would be the right fit in what we do. Our wide receiver room and everything, he'd be a great compliment for what we need. Seriously. So it's not going to break the bank. So.
And salary cap wise, it makes more sense. We talked about before. It makes more sense to pay the running back and draft a edge rusher of need instead of drafting the running back and not being able to have the money to compete with the top edge markets. Because we won't think about it. At the end of the day, we're not going to be able to compete with the other teams. We're going to throw money at these edge rushers in free agency. We're not going to be able to. We don't have the money for it.
Yeah, Joe, we need a pass rush, brother. We need a pass rush. What they're asking for is this money. We just cannot pay for a free agent pass rush guy, one of the top tier dudes. Can't do it. Let the money stretch out for a little bit. We'll get more other things there,
Yep.
Barbershop, we need a home run hitter in the backfield. I don't care who it is. I hear you.
Yeah.
But let's get a guy that's proven that we know is going to be able to do it. If we want a home run hitter, what's going to help with a home run hitter, Barbershop? Let me make this point again. It's going to rely on our line. Our line's going to make him a home run hitter.
Yep.
So let's make sure we put that out there first. The guys up front is going to be able to pave the way for those guys to be the home run hitter. Okay. We ask the running back to do one thing. One thing. You make one guy miss. Then go hit your head on the goalpost. That's what it is. EB, I need 4.5, baby. You know what he said? You need a 5.5. 5.5. That's what our running back's going to hear this year. So.
And the one thing about Love, I know that people, he has awesome highlights. And you look at some of his games, he's great. And if we do draft him, sure, I'll be happy about it. I'm not gonna be upset by it. That's the thing. We talk about all these guys, and there's people out here who say they don't like certain people. Say no, you don't not like him, because if we got these guys, you should be happy about it. Because at the end of the day, this is a lottery ticket that we got. Someone granted us this horrible year that we had. Someone granted us this. It was like, hey, here's your number 9 pick for that. All the horrible stuff that went on this year. Here's the top 10 pick. This is a luxury. We should be picking at 31, 32. But the fact you're picking at number 9 in the Mahomes era is rare, and it will probably never happen again. So, like, whoever we get here, be happy about this pick. Like, sure, will we prefer Breece Hall? Yeah, we would, because we want that. We're not going to have money to compete with other edge rushers. However, Jeremiah Love, us, JD and I saying we'd rather go elsewhere doesn't mean we don't like him. And if we do draft him, we're gonna celebrate it, and on our post-draft show, we're gonna love it. But there's things to consider with Jeremiah Love, and you know, I'm not a huge college fanatic, but I do watch. And Jeremiah Love, some of his worst games came against the best defenses in college. And for me, that's kind of a scary thing. I mean, Indiana shut him down when he went against Miami week 1 of the season, shut him down. That's because you're going to be facing defenses and then some. You're not going against FAMU in week 2 of the NFL season. You're going against legit defenses, not these small schools. You're going against legit defenses, and that scares me. I mean, he has all these great highlights, but a lot of these guys have awesome highlights.
I'm telling you, such a great point, brother. It's a wonderful, excellent point. And some of those highlights, I was looking at the other helmets and the guys he was going against. I'm like, well, shoot, okay.
Right?
You know, yeah. And Notre Dame can play anybody they want to play, right? Because there ain't no conference. So they can make a decision on who they playing. And I'm like, Rutgers? Oh, okay. Not yet. Okay. He just go both on Rutgers. I got it. And so you're going to have highlights. You should have highlights against those guys. You should. You should have highlights against those guys.
Yeah.
So I will with you 1,000%. 1,000%. I know Breece Hall has done it against NFL talent.
Exactly.
We know that for a fact. He's had a few good years with that, Marcus. So I'm all in on that.
Yeah, so, Tage was watching, because Tage doesn't really watch college football. He does a lot of draft stuff. Like, he loves watching guys after the fact and seeing their write-ups on them. Honestly, we all know that on the show. But he'll be watching highlights, and I'm like, he's like, man, look at this guy. I'm like, dude, I was like, he's doing that against I don't know, Eastern Missouri State. I'm like, he should be doing that against Eastern Missouri State. I mean, what are we talking about here? You know?
Yeah, Montana Central.
Yeah.
Yeah. What? Like, I didn't know they had a football team. Like, yeah, they just got one 2 years ago. Okay. Yeah. It looked good again.
Missouri paid him a lot of money to play that game.
Yeah. And it's going to happen. But look, not taking away from his greatness, right? It's not taking away from his greatness. But there's context to certain these things that guys should have highlights against certain ones. That's like some of the pass rushers I see. I'm like, well, you're going against Nebraska and some of these other guys. Like, you should get around them. You should. Sister Mary the Poor, right? That's a fact. So, Ty Tofree said, agreed to disagree, JD. Name Jamal Charles as lineman. So,
we had Brandon Albert, who was a top 5 paid left tackle at one point in the league.
Yeah. And then we talking about Jamal Charles, for goodness sake. One of those rare talents. He had that speed, but they would get him to the second level. And what Charles had to do, make one guy miss. He would get hit in the backfield, Todd.
But he had to go. He had Rodney Hudson as a center. He was a top paid center at one point. He had Brandon Albert as a top 5 tackle at one point.
Yeah.
I mean, how many top 5 offensive linemen do you want Jamal Charles to have? I mean, he had legit dudes in front of him.
We just need to get him to the second level. That's what you need to do. And that's what the coach said. Hey, man, you keep your block for Jamal Charles. Did he hit the hole? Just get him to the second level. He just needs a second. As soon as that sucker gets to the second level, boom, that sucker is gone. Yep. Gone. So that's all it takes, man.
Again, if we draft Jeremiah Love, JD and I are going to be on here psyched about the pick. It's just that our preference is to go this way.
So Cal said, got to be careful with the logic. Cal Monagai played at the Rutgers, didn't play against many juggernauts. Well, he had a good line up there in Chicago. He got our top lineman.
Yeah.
Joe Tooney's up there, and all they done is built an offensive line. So you got a good offensive line, a guy like that, he can go do it. Matter of fact, and actually Cal is kind of making our point a little bit. What pick was Monagai?
7th round.
Oh, well, shoot, maybe we ought to wait for a 7th round at the end. If our offensive line is that good.
Hey, Pacheco looked good in the 7th round for us.
He sure did. Shoot, why go for a first round and we can get the same thing at somebody in the later rounds? Get somebody else you need.
Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out the best clips from Chief Concerns. And if you prefer to listen to the show, subscribe and follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and anywhere else you get your podcasts.